tricky, wasn't it? I'm Steve Britt. What is this thing doing? Okay. I think it's actually smoothed out now. Hello, everybody. Hello out there in the YouTube community. I am Stephen Britton, and welcome yet again to another of my tri-weekly podcasts. Today, I'm going to tell you something that you probably already knew. It's okay to be white. Now, there's a story behind this, obviously, but I'm going to go into that. But it is a statement of fact that it is okay to be white. Now, that statement does not imply anything about any other skin color, one way or the other. The statement, it's okay to be white, is not the same as the statement, it's better to be white, which is not true. The statement, it's okay to be white, means it's not bad to be white, which is, unfortunately, what the left would have us believe. Excuse me. So what has happened to spark this discussion? Well, over the weekend, on coincidentally the same date as the beginning of the Antifa apocalypse, the date that Refuse Fascism, the Communist Party in the United States, was going to launch the big apocalypse of the Civil War against Donald Trump, which turned out to be a few hundred people marching and screaming the standard slogans in the street. Yeah, that's so apocalyptic, isn't it? A bunch of posters appeared on campuses around at least 3 countries, Canada, the United States, and Great Britain. And these posters simply said 5 words. It's okay to be white. That's all the posters said. No more, no less. The University of Toronto decided in their infinite wisdom to notify the campus police, who in turn called the Toronto Police Service. Who in turn called the Toronto Police Service. Yes, it seems that whenever I get a text message, even though I've turned on the Do Not Disturb feature of my cell phone, where the camera is located, it still decides to mess up the connection with YouTube. Anyways, so these signs appeared, and I've got my iPad here, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. That's what it looks like. It was very simple, very simple picture. It's okay to be white. That's all it said. And the fact is, it is a statement of truth. Now, the whole campaign, the whole campaign was sparked by, as a bit of a gag over on 4chan, which is an anonymous message forum where people can post all kinds of ideas anonymously. And it's strictly anonymous, so nobody knows who you are, nobody knows where you are, and nobody knows what you're really about. So that happens. And as you can expect, the usual suspects, their heads exploded. The left just went nuts over this. As I said, the University of Toronto called the Toronto Police Service via the campus police. The posters got ripped down, of course, and people were making all kinds of accusations, such as that these posters were intended to fuel racial tensions and all that rubbish. The fact is, it was a statement of truth. How can you argue against it's okay to be white except to say, no, it isn't? And are you going to tell me that it's not okay to be white? What, are you racist now? If it's not okay to be white, that means it's better to be a color other than white, by definition, and therefore you're saying it's better not to be white, therefore you're saying white people are inferior. I will never apologize for the color of my skin. I will never apologize for my anatomy. I am a white man. That is who I am. That is what I am. There is nothing I can do to change either of those two facts. First, I cannot change my color of my skin, and I will not change my gender. Oh, what's going on here? In any event, so that's what's happened. So that happened. And as I said, the whole left's heads collectively exploded over this, and outrage, police, and the whole bit happened. And why? Because somebody or a group of people dared say it's okay to be white. And I think in doing so, this proved a very important point. That if you are not white, and if you are a member of, say, Black Lives Matter or whatever group, Refuse Fascism Antifa, the fascist Antifa group, and I'll go into why they're fascist some other time, because there's other reasons that I haven't talked about yet as to why they're a fascist organization. Then you are, by definition, arguing that it's not okay to be white, which I've already established is the type of argument that you're making. This was a perfect example of proving the point that white males, white people, must not stand up and say, hey, we want equality too. Society seems to have become, all people are equal, except some people are more equal than others. To balance out inequality or something. If you've ever heard such rubbish in your life. The point I'm making is, yeah, it is okay to be white. It's okay to be black. It's okay to be Asian. It's okay to be anything. No one group, no one skin color, no one ethnicity is any better or any worse than any other. And to argue otherwise, to argue that because white people have been traditionally the oppressors, which is untrue, then therefore they need to be kept down for a while so other people can have a go, is just as racist, just as bigoted as any other argument. And it's going to backfire. Mark my words, this is going to backfire. This whole diversity attitude will backfire on its proponents. And I'll tell you why. Diversity will backfire because it will get to the point where a customer or a contact or somebody goes into a firm, sees a black guy working at a desk, and who knows, maybe this black guy is doing a fabulous job. Maybe he was the best candidate for the job. It's quite possible that he was, but it won't matter. Because the person going in will see them and think to themselves, well, there's their diversity quotient. There's their diversity quota being kept up. You see a person of some ethnicity and you're immediately going to say to yourself, well, that person was hired because they're black. That person was hired because they're a woman. That person was hired because they're Asian. It is human nature, and that will happen. It's wrong, but that is what this whole diversity movement is going to cause. Mark my words. The solution is not to force diversity upon people. The solution is to implement truly blind hiring practices. You give no consideration to a person's skin color or ethnicity or race or weight or anything else. And you implement scientific and measurable and provable methods to make sure that it happens. As in, you have someone not related with the hiring process strip all names and identifying information off resumes to the person who's going to screen resumes. So the person screening resumes only has a resume to go by. with no information as to what the resume actually, what the person, where the person is from, or anything like that. That's the solution. But all the time that the left has their heads explode over simple posters which say it's okay to be white, the left will continue to prove just how bigoted and how racist and how anti-freedom, how fascist they really are. And so there you go. That's it for me. It's Monday, November the something. I've lost track. What can I say? I've lost track as to what the date is. But it's November the 6th. But I will be back again on Wednesday this time, November the 8th, where I'll be talking about something else. I'll probably come up with something the next day or so. Between now and then, I'm going to be working on the biggie that I've been working on for the last month or longer. But I am making good progress. I'm going to be talking about deficits and debt. That may sound dry and boring, but trust me, it proves something conclusively. And that's coming down the road. But in the meantime, if you like what you see, if you want to see more of this, and you want to support my work, please do consider supporting me over on Patreon or on Minds.com. On both places, I am at SC Britain. Sponsorships can range from $1 a month to $10 a month, and there's a couple of perks for anyone who decides to do so. As always, nothing is expected, but everything is always appreciated. And I'll talk to you on Wednesday. I'm Steve Britton.